Zoom, 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 zoom! World, you call the tune. Habai for folks, wubbo kubum tubo zubum world. Mubba nubame ubbas dubba. That means my name is Doyle, welcoming you to Zoom World, a fun-filled YouTube channel devoted to the classic PBS kids show and its reboot. And I'm back again with this long-awaited and long overdue Zoomer Spotlight. This is number 51, and this time around it's gonna be on my favorite reboot Zimmer guy. Now, of course, you know I already did my favorite reboot Zimmer gal, which is Caroline. Now it's time for my favorite reboot Zimmer guy, and I know who it is and what have you. You better be prepared because he is one funny dude, and well, he's considered to be the king of the ubby rap according to Marissa Oliver. Now, I'm sorry the picture's gonna be a wee bit small, but you'll know who he is when you see him. So now, without further ado, I bring to you the one, the only, Kenny Yates. Kenny was introduced in season 2 of the Zoom reboot. He also appeared in the third season as well. He was one of the few that was joined with Caroline, as well as Jesse, Ray, and Claudio. Of course, they joined with previous Zoomers, Elisa and Zoe, for the second season. This is what I'm going to be focusing on in this video. Now then, Kenny is, in my opinion, a great guy, and he's pretty funny. And as I've said, he's my favorite of all the reboot Zoomers. Being out Buzz and Pablo and Eric and Jared, may he rest in peace. Of course, you know Jared, who we sadly lost in 2006. But anyway, but I set him last after Eric because even though I've got Jared in 4th place and Eric in 5th place. But I'm really not going to try and talk about ranking these reboot Zimmer guys and gals. No, sorry, not going to happen in this video. But you know Kenny is my favorite, and he's going to be spotlighting this. I'm going to show some clips of him from season 2. This will be a 2-part video. Most of these reboot Zimmer spotlights will be in 2 parts, unlike what I did with Caroline, which was in 3 parts. So, if you're ready, let's begin. And these clips will be shown in sort of no particular order. Are you ready? Good. Then let's begin. Here's Kenny along with Claudio, and they're doing the very first Zoom Do segment in the second season. They're creating very, very big bubbles. Here's Kenny right there. He's joined by Zoe and Caroline as they do a little bit of a fun zinger with a chicken and a plush toy fox. Now, if you didn't see the video for this, I'll leave it at the end of the video. Here's Kenny along with Ray doing the ubby rap. First one, actually. Here's Kenny introducing a game at the start of episode number 2. There's Kenny with Zoe, Elisa, Caroline, and Claudio in a Zoom chat. Here's Kenny along with Claudio in another Zoom Do segment. And they're really getting creative. Yeah, really cool these Zoom Do segments are. Just as much as they were on the original series. Here comes Kenny and Elisa right there. This is from the first part of the Red Bench in Zoom Playhouse. Really love that play. Okay, there's Kenny with a blindfold competing in a little challenge with Zoe, and Claudio is observing. Here's Kenny working with Claudio in a Zoom size segment. Now here's a real funny joke skit with Kenny and Zoe. There was Kenny along with Zoe, and there was Claudio. Yeah, there they are. Kenny, Zoe, and Claudio. They're playing Three Little Pigs, and there's Ray as the big bad wolf. This is Three Little Pigs and Ubby Dubby Fairy Tale. Very funny story. Maybe I'll present this to y'all one day. And we are seeing Kenny and Caroline doing a little challenge with jump ropes. Pretty fun, huh? There's Kenny. You saw him and Jesse, and they're participating in a little zinger challenge with Zoe. And here's Kenny in a funny little skit with Jesse the doctor. Here's Kenny in a funny Ubby Dubby sketch with Ray. And it's Ubby Dubby breath spray. Now, don't mind me for having just this one set of lights on, but I'm going to give you a little heads up. I'm not going to include so many clips from various Zoom chats and what maybe a few from zingers and games, maybe, depending on how much we see of Kenny and what have you. But that's all I'm going to tell you. But again, you'll see other Zoomers, but this will focus on this is focusing on Kenny only. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Okay, there's Kenny along with Caroline, and we have Elisa and Claudio participating in the game, and Zoe's giving the instructions. Here's Kenny reading some Z-mail that was sent to Zoom. Might show one or a few clips from Z-mail segments, maybe. Just stay tuned. Here's Kenny reading off a letter that was sent to him for a Zoom do. I love how the scrolling the name scroll in one of the, even from behind the background. And here's Kenny reading a short story or a poem, because that's usually sent. That's some things you can send to Zoom. Here's Kenny trying to do a little hypnotism with the PBS website. Here's Kenny in another Zoom sketch, another Ubby Dubby sketch with a spray that'll make Elisa smile. See what I mean? Here's Kenny introducing a Zoom size segment, which this one appears to be a real challenge. See, we got Caroline, we got Zoe, and Jesse, and Ray. Now, Kenny right here is taking part of a Zoom site challenge with Elisa. And it's gonna deal with water in various glasses. Okay, now Kenny is doing a Zoom do where can create some really fun where you can move a picture, which is a little, well, I think you know what I'm trying to say, with a little creativity. Here's Kenny at the beginning of the Zoom Playhouse, the man, the farmer. Have a bit of a burger, well, it's a sandwich. And there's Caroline dressed as the little doggy there. And Kenny's wanting to know where the dog is, so he gets help from the farmer, which is played by Claudio. Here's Kenny right here participating in a little fun game with Claudio. Here's Kenny along with Zoe and Jesse trying to balance, like, I believe 4 quarters on their forehead. And here's Kenny with Jesse in a zinger segment. We're going to try to see how well a dollar bill will balance. Right between two paper cups. Well, or maybe it's, well, some kind of cups, you know. Now, of course, I should mention they were trying to balance the third cup on top of that dollar bill. But here's Kenny along with Jesse again, and this is the start of a little challenge they want the kids at home to do called the Zoomongous Backpack Challenge. Here's Kenny right here. He's joined by Caroline and a couple other Zoomers, perhaps, as they start. Here's our two Zoomers, Elisa and Zoe, as they participate in a little Zoom site challenge. There's Kenny playing the director, and there's Elisa and Zoe. Jesse and Ray are in this play too, as you can see. This is from a play called You're Out of There. Now we saw Kenny. He's joining Zoe in a Zoom side challenge where you had to like divide pizza into separate slices. Of course, they're just cardboard cutouts or something like that. Here's Kenny introducing a little fun game at the beginning of another episode. He's reading the letter that was sent into them. Here's Kenny in a funny little joke skit with Caroline. Okay, here's Kenny along with Jesse and Elisa taking part of a Zoom site challenge that Ray introduced that involves balloons. Here's Kenny going up against Ray in a Zoom game with water balloons. Here's Kenny introducing us to another Zoom game which he takes part of with Claudio, and Elisa and Jesse are doing the other part. Trying to hold kind of like a toy ball in between our heads without it flipping out. And here's Kenny doing his very first Cafe Zoom segment. Here's Kenny reading off some Zoom mail. Well, I mean, Z mail. That's what it's called. Silly me. Here's Kenny going up against Elisa in a Zoom game where you have to try and put cotton balls into another bowl while being blindfolded. Here's Kenny doing another Zoom side challenge, and it's, using potatoes to charge up a clock like a battery. I think you kids might have learned to do this in school. Well, with a little help from a penny, of course. Not just the potatoes. Here's Kenny and Caroline fishing skit. Here's Kenny and Caroline, and there's Ray, and it's about to give the instructions to the two to do a little challenge. Yeah. Now there's Kenny and Jesse, and they're doing a ZOOMfan1 where you gotta hear sound coming from maybe the table or something like that. Now here is from the same segment. They're gonna try to use a couple bats to listen to an alarm clock, a ticket. Well, Jesse's using a golf club actually. My apologies. Here's Kenny introducing a Zoom game that involves a hula hoop. Now here's Kenny doing another ZOOMfan1, and what he's gonna try to do is use a drinking straw, blow right through into a ball that a 2-liter ball that's filled with water. And there's Kenny with Caroline in a little funny Zoom playhouse on nursery rhymes with a twist. There's Claudio as well. And here's Kenny and Caroline in the beginning to play the case of the missing shoes. Here's Kenny in a little skit in the restaurant with Claudio. Here's Kenny along with Ray and Elisa, and they're going to create a Rube Goldberg project in a Zoom style segment. Here's Kenny, and he's got on the wrong costume. Oh dear. Oh dear, wrong costume again. He's trying to, become a certain song we'll see later on. Try and get a cat out of a tree for Jesse. And there he is, as the one and only Ubby Dubby Man. Please too late. Now, Kenny here just did a fun little project with Elisa involving a lemon and what looked like paper towels or something. Here's Kenny along with Claudio in a real funny sketch at a barber shop, which really turns out to be a real shock. Just wait till you see. I'll show you. Yeah, that. Here's Kenny fixing things up for a Zoom site segment with Elisa, Claudio, Caroline, and Jesse. Here's Kenny, and he's joined by Ray plus Elisa. Show more results for their little Zoomungus backpack challenge. Here's Kenny playing the dummy along with Ray as the ventriloquist. Here's Kenny and there's Caroline together in a sketch involving the Ubby Dubby vacuum cleaner. Believe me, he and Caroline were a really great team. Whereas Alva, if you're watching, then you should know. And there's your King of Ubby Dubby and his Queen of Zoom, you know. Again, I feel like Kenny and Caroline really got along together like brother and sister in ways, like Mara and David did in season 2 of the original Zoom. Here's Kenny introducing not WW Fairy Tale, but Sleeping Beauty Retold, which has already gotten a lot of views here on Zoom World. Thank you for watching that, by the way. Now here's Kenny in Cafe Zoom, and he's doing Pigs in a Blanket. Good treat, don't you think? Now here's Kenny again in Cafe Zoom. This time he's creating I believe, a dip for chips. And here he is again. This time he's creating a special kind of fruit punch. Here's King again, and he's continuing to help Elisa and Ray with their Rube Goldberg project. Here's Kenny right here in Cafe Zoom joining Jesse and Caroline creating sandwiches. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's him! It's WW Man! As you can see, Caroline here is having a little bit of a problem. But here he comes. Ubba bubby dubba bubby ma bam. And here's Kenny. He's about to try to really go low in the Zoom game of Limbo. And here comes WW Man again, this time to help Zoe. Yeah. He's just trying to be a real show off. Kind of like how Grover is in the Adventures of Super Grover segment on Sesame Street in ways. Now, of course, they showed this in the first Caroline video, but here it is again. Kenny's being a hypnotist again, and look at Caroline showing her cute smile as Kenny tries to hypnotize her. Well, here's Kenny about to try and give Caroline a stare without blinking, what have you. Yeah. Here's Kenny reading off another short story. Here's Kenny and Jesse's bringing the big rolling basket that contains all the Z-mail that's sent into them through email that gets printed off, and of course the actual letter sent through Z-mail through their particular address, which of course is the same you remember if you saw the original series. Now there's Kenny. You can see part of him. You'll see him again. He and Ray are creating a really special Zoom deal with a special little something you can use to get cereal out, not just out of the box. Here's Kenny introducing a fun-filled Zoom game with Zoe and Caroline and Jesse and Ray participating in. And here comes WW Man to the rescue again. This time to help sharpen up No, not Sharpie, because that was until the next season. My apologies. Trying to get rid of a fly. Well, you can see what he can do. I also kind of would consider Ubby Dubby Man to be like Acme Man, which Greg Lee played in the last couple seasons of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego as well. Here's Kenny showing off what he, Elisa, and Ray have done for their little experiment of a Rube Goldberg project. Here's Kenny at the beginning of the Zoom Playhouse skit, The Family Couch. Well, one Zoomer at a time wants to, well, some Kenny to move over and make room for everyone. Now, here's Kenny along with a familiar face. It's David from the first season. This was from the next to last season 2 episode where they get to have a little bit of a mini reunion with the first season Zoomers. Now, Kenny's working with David while Claudia works with Jared on this here Zoom site challenge. And there's Kenny right there. He's with Elisa while Jesse and Caroline are going up against him in a fun Zoom game. Here's Kenny in another cafe Zoom segment where he creates mini quiches, which really never have had something like that before. But what Kenny's doing is looks pretty good. Now Kenny and Ray are showing off this here little chart they used for the final bit of their Zoomongous backpack challenge. Well, that's about it. That's about all I can give to you of Kenny from season 2. Now, we'll continue the Zoomer Spotlight on Kenny next week with the second part on season 3, which of course is my favorite season. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep the light on this side on. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, let me know what you thought about Marisala. I'd love to hear what you thought about it. If YouTube will let you, leave a comment below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of this great nation that is Zoom World. And we'll have another video coming up for you this weekend. It'll be another Zoom classic music vid. And I know it's going to be another special request for Janessa, so be prepared for it. So if you like this, consider checking out these other Zoom reboot vids. In the upper left-hand corner is my brief thoughts on the Season 2 cast. The upper right-hand corner is the Sleeping Beauty remake Playhouse episode. Or if you'd like, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the first part of my Zoomer Spotlight on Caroline. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like Zoom, the classic PBS Kids series from the 70s, or its reboot from 1999, then this is the place for you, Zoom World. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is your friend Duel saying, see ya!